This is indeed Keep the Calls Coming In. It's keeping her. She's so busy working away answering the calls at the moment. Yeah. She hasn't got a chance to talk to Matt, which is good, and that's helping me out in the control room.
It's not helping Matt out.
It's not helping Matt out at all, but it's good. 0344 499 1000. Let's welcome our first guest onto the show, Kenneth O'Keefe, who former US Marine in the Gulf War. Kenneth, thank you very much indeed. I love the hat.
Well, you're not the only one who says that. I get compliments all the time.
Do you like? Are you completely bald underneath, or?
Oh, actually, no. I've got a full head of hair. Actually,
for goodness' sake!
Because you used to wear it. You wouldn't wear it if you had hair like that, would you? Because you used to wear cowboy hats.
I shaved mine off. That's a very nice hat. Is it a Stetson?
Oh, I'm not even going to tell you, because then you might try and steal my thunder and wear the hat that's given me so many compliments,
It's nice.
You can wear it if you feel happier wearing it.
You know what? No, it's cool. I started the interview with it. I'll just go casual now.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the Middle East. You were in the Gulf War. Is there, first question I want to know, and I ask everybody about this, is there a solution?
Well, there is, but I'm a firm believer. I've quoted many great people. I've studied, I've read many books, and I continue to read. I always seek to learn. My favorite quote of all time is, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." If we don't understand the truth of what's really happening, then we're hard-pressed to find any kind of solution.
So what, in your view, because truth is different to all kinds of people, one person's truth is not necessarily another. So what do you think the truth is of what? I mean, has it got anything to do with religion? They say because people's religions all started in the Middle East, that's why there's still conflict.
No, it's not about religion. I think it's clearly about humanity. And plus, I've called out fake Christians and fake Muslims for a long time, such as the Christian Zionists, so-called. They believe that in order for their Messiah, Jesus, a man I love as myself, that in order for him to come back, that the Jews need to rebuild the third temple, and then their Messiah is going to come, while the Jews believe that their Messiah is going to come. We can argue about who that is, by the way. This is all ridiculous. And the Muslims,
that's just religion, isn't it?
The Muslims their stake in it is that they ultimately have an observatory role in watching these two things play out, but their episcatology and that's a whole other subject. I mean, we could get into that quite a bit, but the bottom line is this. What I appreciate and respect about Islam is that, according to proper Islam, Jesus is a prophet. He is much loved. His mother Mary is also deeply revered.
Can I just say, I mean, I am not religious in any way.
I'm spiritual, by the way.
I'm spiritual. I believe in things I'm not prepared to discuss with other people.
Sure.
And it's into our individual selves that we should stay true. But the religions, all the religions you talk about, homophobic, misogynistic, controlling, they're all like that, the three of them. Islam is probably the newest religion. It's still very anti-women, whatever they say.
And Christian, they're very hardcore.
Given that this isn't a philosophical debate, and we have concision, which Noam Chomsky talks about, in manufacturing consent, I can't get into all of the counter-arguments to that. I believe that if you worship thyself and your freedom to the point that you sacrifice morality, first off, I'm a heterosexual male.
So
I know. Candace Owen, do you like Candace Owen? Candace Owen just called out Don Lemon for being immoral and sinful. I believe, and I know, as a matter of fact, if we all decided to become homosexual, guess what? We're going extinct real fast.
Well, I also
know that this country has been fostering homosexuality and transgenderism.
So should it be illegal?
To such an issue.
Is that why?
To such an issue, it's causing major problems. Do you realize the statistics
it be made
of
illegal?
Those who become illegal?
Yeah.
Illegal. No, there's no need to. We should become moral. That's the root cause. The root cause is the idea that you were born different from who you really are. The idea that you're so free that you can change your sex, chemically castrate as you can in California.
Have you tried homosexuality?
Right now in California.
That's a different thing.
Right now in California, a child can chemically castrate.
That's wrong.
And literally without parental consent.
Guys, let's keep it.
This is not a good way to go at all.
No, I agree.
I cannot understand how being a gay person, a homosexual person, upset so many religious people. I just don't understand it. Well, have you ever been gay and then sort of decided that was the wrong path?
I don't need to be.
Well, I don't know.
I've never been confused about my heterosexuality at all. Love and respect. God made you the way you are. I believe in God, by the way, which is different from the religion that I think you're confusing perhaps myself with.
Why do you believe in God? Why do you think there is a God? With all the trouble on this planet.
Put me on for a longer program. I'll give you a diatribe on the whole damn thing. I have had miracles done to me. I have witnessed miracles. I shouldn't even be here. I was already dead, came back from the dead, brain damage, starved, tortured. I've been through all of it. So, you're not going to be... You can believe whatever you want to believe.
Listen, I'm terminally ill. Yes. I may be here in a month, yes. I may not. I don't know. It's been going on for a few years. And I've got a number of tumours and I'm on treatment and everything else. But it's got nothing to do with God. It's got to do with... I believe that your life is probably mapped out in some kind of way I can't even think or explain. And you might call that God. I don't know. But I think these are things that people should keep to themselves rather than arguing about. Because arguing is what brings us... to the subject we're talking about mainly, is what's happening in the Middle East. We seem to be...
Well, Hamas specifically...
Just a minute, will you be quiet for a moment? We seem to believe everything that comes out of the Hamas, who are terrorists, I'm sure you agree with that, who are over there doing despicable things, both to Palestinians and anybody else they can. And yet our mainstream media put out whatever Hamas tell them as a fact.
Do you know that 0.02% of the human population has a massively disproportionate amount of control of the mainstream media?
I do.
Do you know who controls Hollywood? Are you suggesting that Hamas
Disney
is a counterweight to the...
Are you saying Hollywood is the media? The movie industry is the media?
And these are
the
facts.
movies aren't the media.
Facts and truth.
Be quiet.
Truth. I don't disagree that propaganda exists on all sides, but the idea that the Islamic propaganda outweighs the Jewish propaganda for the Jewish state of Israel
Hollywood, Die Hard, what are you talking about?
Be quiet.
At best.
Listen, that is not
You're mixing up the media with Hollywood. You're mixing up reality with movies.
You know, I think about sacking him every week, and I'm really beginning to think about it now. Yeah. The problem is...
I can use your mind.
You can't. The problem is that we are now allowing Hamas, who are terrorists, you've got to...
Listen, let me reply.
There's no way you can
I want to give you the satisfaction of getting a different answer from anything. First off, genocide. Let's get into that. To destroy in whole or part a national, ethnic, or religious group. That's Black's Law Dictionary. I've been quoting that ever since I made a film called The United States of Hypocrisy.
Which is not what's happening,
about
is it?
the Hawaiian genocide 25 years ago.
Is it?
That policy is carrying on to this day. Now, with regard to terrorists, the government in Ireland right now was the terrorist of the day back in Thatcher's days. Do you ever hear of a guy named Nelson Mandela? You ever hear of him? Yeah.
Patronising me.
Both sides of Ireland had terrorists. Both sides. You don't know what...
According to Margaret Thatcher and Ronald... terrorist. He became a much revered and respected man. He did.
You don't understand.
He did. So... Listen, Hamas, by the way, was democratically elected. They have never been given an opportunity to allow the political process. Jimmy Carter himself said it was a valid election. Now, if you ask about what they...
nearly ruined the world. You can't go on like that. Jimmy Carter and Obama, probably the two worst presidents in America,
if you want to say that the election was invalid, fair enough. You don't have to like them. I don't listen. I don't like any of them. They all should be. I took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States, to fight all enemies, foreign and domestic. So help me God. But I took that serious. That was a 19-year-old kid that I was. I've taken that serious ever since.
So you've got the experience to understand.
They're all traitors, all of them.
But why?
Every president except Kennedy.
Why is it now acceptable? Let's put it this way, and you please be quiet. Why is it so acceptable to be anti-Semitic? We've had marches through our
The Palestinians are Semitic. They are speaking Semitic languages coming from the Semitic region.
It's perfectly acceptable to walk through the capital of this country shouting, "Kill the Jews," from the river to the sea.
Where do you hear that?
I have heard it on a lot of news programs. They're not putting it out now.
Which news program? I want to know.
News programs.
Which one?
Go and look.
I've looked all the time. I've never heard anybody talking about
let's talk about the 40,000 dead. Let's talk about the 40,000 dead.
Well, please, tell the whole audience where to find it. I don't know where to find that. I've not seen nothing about Kill the Jews.
Flags, kill the Jews. There've been people.
I've never seen any Kill the Jews stuff.
Well, then you haven't watched.
I haven't seen it. I'm not doing my research.
You're denying it. They all do that. But let's talk about the 40.
Where is it?
All right.
Why can't you cite it? Show it. Tell people where to go.
I am not going to go and find it. Go online and look for the march.
From the river to the sea. You've seen that, haven't you?
Do you know about Greater Israel? Do you know what Greater Israel is?
Forget all this crap. What about the 40,000? Let's talk about the 40,000. Let's talk about.
Do you know about Greater Israel?
Forget all that crap.
Do you know about the Samson option?
Yeah, just forget all this conspiracy crap. Let's talk about what's going on.
There's no conspiracy.
Let's talk about what real stuff.
Samson option's a conspiracy.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about.
Do you know a guy named Mordecai Vanunu who exposed the nuclear weapons program?
Do you believe there's 40,000
How about John F. Kennedy who stood up to them and wanted Damona inspected?
This is irrational.
There's
I'm
no
trying to get onto that.
There.
The main story we're trying to talk to you about is the 40,000 dead. Do you agree there's 40,000 dead with the Hamas health ministry?
Do you agree with that?
You look confused.
Okay, excuse me. You are trying to ask a leading question to get the answer you want. I'm going to answer the question. I'll tell you what I do know. There's about 20,000 dead kids. And even if they're not,
how many dead
by
terrorists?
the way, do you grieve over those 3 kids that died recently? Do you grieve over those kids, those children that were stabbed?
Will you be quiet?
Do you care? Is there 1,000? Is it 2,000, 3,000, 5,000? How many dead kids are there? How many dead kids? Do you value their lives equally?
Quiet now.
Do you?
You did that as a Marine.
Do you value the lives of the Palestinian children
I should be throwing myself out in a few minutes.
You're a Marine. Children got killed. It's called collateral damage.
Too many kids. By the fourth largest military in the world.
Hang on, both of you.
Weapons.
Be quiet, both of you, or you're going to have to go. You're going to have to go out. Listen, you're ruining the program.
Yeah, war.
You're going to have to go out.
You've never been in a war. I've been in a war. That ain't a war. That's a slaughter.
No, damages.
You need to go. I feel like most normal people sorry for anybody, particularly children, who get killed.
Exactly.
Very bad. For the hundreds of thousands of kids across the world, in Yemen, in Sudan, various places that never come on our media. I feel sorry for all of them. I also feel sorry for our Jewish community, who sometimes are now living in fear in parts of this country because of the people who seem to want to support a terrorist organisation. Even our media, the BBC, who the sooner we get rid of them, the better, as far as I'm concerned. Not until I've done Celebrity MasterChef.
Propaganda Corporation.
But you know, they just take and put out what a terrorist organisation say.
I thought you liked the BBC.
Just be quiet.
You like the BBC.
Sorry about this, but I mean, every week I am going to sack him. I've had him for 25 years.
2 times they invited
the collateral
me on
damage is 1-to-1. It's a record
Ash,
in urban warfare. If you speak to Colonel Richard Kemp.
Ash, I've got only a few seconds. Did you believe in the weapons
of mass destruction too,
No,
Ash?
not at all.
Really?
Look,
neither did I.
Can you not look at him and talk to him because he's a pain in the ass? Listen, the fact is that we are living in a society where social media bend the truth. And they don't do it on purpose. The fact is that human beings are lazy and we tend not to look into what we've seen. And so if you see something that's online, you think of it the same as it being on the media or whatever. And eventually it all will be. But you must use your own mind to make up decisions and not be told by other people what to think. Had there been genocide on the West Bank, and by the way, on Gaza, by the way, the people who go around like the Jewish settlers, I would lock all of those up. Set fire to that village the other day. In my mind, vile, horrible. But let me just make this point, and then you can come back.
Right,
the point is, had there been any kind of genocide in Gaza, it would have been finished, the fight, a long time ago.
About a week.
Okay, listen. Now, as a student of law who takes law very seriously, it seems, James, that you're waiting for every single one of the Palestinians to be exterminated before you're willing to acknowledge a genocide. The whole point of bringing charges at the International Criminal Court is to avoid the ultimate genocide. Now, by the way, Greater Israel, getting back to it, you say it's a conspiracy. That's ignorant, by the way. Greater Israel is an absolutely declared intention plan. And guess who stands in the way of Greater Israel more than anybody else? The Palestinians, because they have a lawful claim to that land. Historic Palestine is known as a factual reality. It's in the Bible, which you may or may not care about. The bottom line is the history books make this clear. Jesus was a Palestinian from Nazareth, no less. These are the descendants of Jesus of Nazareth. Whether you love him, hate him, acknowledge him,
you take it back to history, we're never going to get anywhere,
we've only got a minute left. Can we not talk about the 40,000 dead? Can we not talk about
historical facts?
Are we going to talk about that or not?
What do you want to talk about?
I want to, because
what do you want to know?
I want to know if you think 40,000 dead is the lowest ratio of innocent people killed compared to terrorists in modern urban warfare.
If we listen to The Lancet, they say the actual number is going to be about 187,000.
So Hamas are underestimating it, are they? Hamas are on Israel's side
now. Then wouldn't that really upset you then, Ash?
Well, it's obviously a load of bunkum,
So what do you think of The Lancet? Since you don't like Hamas, what do you think the Lancet? The British Medical Journal, the Lancet. What do you think of their
BMA,
figures?
they're totally non-political. Yeah, of course.
So who's your source then for truth?
You know about the
How do you
BMA
know anything? Where do you get your knowledge?
Thank you both.
So you want to downplay the dead people for what?
Say goodbye.
You get paid to say
David
this?
Icke. Knowledge. Richard Tyson.
And then I'm going to talk to Richard
David
Tyson.
Icke. I'm Ken.